Welcome to Rogers Center as the Blue Jays will welcome in the Seattle Mariners. First of 3 against Seattle. Mariners had been playing pretty well, but they've lost 10 of their last 16 ball games, and Eric Wedge, his ball club, just having trouble scoring offensively. They lost a 3-game series at the hands of Oakland last time they played out in Seattle. Ackley, Gutierrez, and Kyle Seager, top 3 in the order. John Jaso, Jesus Montero is the catcher tonight. And the Canadian Michael Sanders against the Blue Jays, he's had a great run. A .348 average, including 2 home runs in a game back in April, including a 10th inning grand slam home run, difference in the ball game. Eric Thames, a former Blue Jay, is in right, done a good job for Seattle. Mike Karp and Brendan Ryan round out the Mariners lineup.
Brandon Morrow will get the start tonight, and he's picked up right where he left off when he was injured on June the 11th. He has regained his confidence and feeling, especially on his secondary pitches since that injury. Says he has come back pretty much in the same spot where he left. He's got great numbers in his career versus his former team, the Seattle Mariners. And right now, those Seattle Mariners are hitting just .205 against him in 83 at-bats with no home runs against Morrow. It's always fun to watch him when he takes them out.
Take a look at the defense behind Brandon Morrow in the outfield. Lots of speed with Davis, Lewis, Rasmus, and Anthony Gose. Yunel Escobar back at shortstop. Kelly Johnson at second. Brett Laurie playing in his 101st game. He's at third base. Adam Lind at first. And J.P. Arancibia for the first time since he broke his hand back in July, back behind the plate.
And the same thing for Brett Laurie as he gets his first start here on the carpet since coming back from that oblique injury. Brian Butterfield says someday he's going to win a Gold Glove. His athleticism on the field, his arm, his hands, he is just getting better as a third baseman.
So we are set for action. Dustin Ackley, the second baseman, will step in. Ackley is 1 for 8 against Brandon Morrow. And as Pat mentioned, Morrow 3-0 against his former ball club, 8-5 for the season. First pitch is off the plate outside. Seattle coming off a 3-6 road trip. Excuse me, a homestand before they start on this road trip. They were swept at the hands of the A's. That wrapped up that 9-game homestand. Morrow's ahead, 1-2.
Beat the Boston Red Sox on that homestand also. They have been getting great pitching, but they haven't gotten a lot of hitting. That has been the problem for them.
.234 average as a team. That's the lowest average in the American League. Another foul back. They've only scored 535 runs. That too is the lowest total of runs scored in the American League. And Eric Wedge knows that they're going to have to improve offensively to make strides in that AL West division.
leaving pitches on the plate, but this is just some really good hitting. You see that last pitch on the outside corner, maybe even just off the plate. Kyle going with it. This is his strength. He likes the fastball away from him. Another solid line drive from the Mariners. Eighty RBIs on the season.
That's
for Kyle.
Impressive to go along with 17 home runs. He's got a real good chance to be a 20-90 guy. Pitch to Jaso off the plate. John hitting at 276. 8 homers, 44 runs batted in. And the clubhouse leader for the longest beard on the club. 276 leads all the regulars. Very studio-like atmosphere in here. It's that time of year. Not a lot of fans here. The ball club Jays out of it in the American League East. But they're still going to have a say in what happens in this AL East division. A lot of interdivisional play, obviously. Swing and a miss, 1-2.
Good split from Morrow, 85 miles an hour. Brandon Morrow now has thrown 15 pitches. Still hasn't recorded an out here in the first inning.
On 2 strikes to Jaso. Way outside, 2-2.
There you go. He's throwing strikes.
Runners at first and second. Nobody out, a run in. Time called. A lot of cat and mouse going on here. Here's a 2-2 pitch. Broken bat, fair ball. They get Seager. Going down to third is Gutierrez. First out. Jaso's aboard, fielder's choice.
I bring up Jesus Montero. Montero having an opportunity to drive in a run. As Gutierrez moves up to third with just 1 out, so he needs to try to get a pitch up in the zone that he can elevate. Just keep the ball off the ground. He doesn't run well, so he's would be an easy double play candidate.
See what Montero can do. They play him a couple of steps shaded towards right field. Dug out by Aaron Sebia, ball 1.
Morrow is not sharp here in the first, and all the reports were that he'd been throwing the ball extremely well, so I think you want to take advantage of it now before he settles in. The good news for the Mariners, they've already scored a run, and they're making his pitch count jump up there on him in the first inning. Really like to pick this run up.
Off the plate, 2-0. Profile on Montero. Well, as it is with many pitchers. Getting early, 235 batting average first time through the order against Morrow, 191 after that. 2-0 pitch. They get 3-0.
See how Eric Wedge wants to play it, if he's going to let Montero swing 3-0 or not. You have Michael Saunders waiting on deck.
Montero riding a career-tying best 8-game hitting streak. 4 pitches. He's aboard. Bases are loaded. Michael Saunders has been in this situation before in this ballpark. First visit. John Farrell's son hit a big grand slam, helped win a ball game late.
I think he hit a home run in the ninth inning to tie the game, and then in 10th inning hit the grand slam to win it for the Mariners here in Toronto.
Great situation here.
Morrow now throwing 21 pitches, 12 of them for strikes.
It's Bruce Walton, the pitching coach.
There you can see the numbers. Just one out here in the first inning. Saunders runs well. It'd be a little bit tougher to double up than Montero, who just walked. Eric Thames, the former Blue Jay, waiting on deck.
Goody, Jaso, and Montero aboard. I'll always have to win it in the ninth inning. Blow it open right here. First pitch to Saunders. Chop foul. Michael's done a good job swinging the bat first pitch. He's got a great batting average. What a change. 491 on first pitch. This is batting average. Been very aggressive this year.
It's been a big change. Last year we couldn't get him to swing at the first pitch.
Yeah, right. Lines one left field. Gutierrez will score. Coming around is Jaso. Throw to the plate. Got him.
Ran through the stop sign. The ball was hit on a line out to left field, and Jeff Datz, the third base coach, was trying to hold him up, but Jaso ran through the stop sign. Costly mistake. Jaso, one of the better base runners on the team, made a mistake there.
An RBI for Saunders. 2-0 Mariners.
Solid line drive. Good piece of hitting. Mariners doing a good job here in the first inning, hitting the ball the other way off of Morrow, not trying to do too much. Perfect one hopper to Davis, who throws a strike to home.
Here's Eric Thames, former Blue Jay. 2 outs, 2 runs in, and a couple of men aboard. Ball one.
Take a look at Jeff Datz, the third base coach, as Gutierrez scores. By then, Jason was already by him, but he was holding him up. I was watching Datz the entire play, and he tried to stop him, but Jason ran through it.
Big cut fouled back by the former Blue Jay Eric Thames. 1-1. An RBI for Saunders, his 45th. Thames the 7th man to the plate here. Chance to add to it. 0-2 strikes. See how he does. 2-strike hitting here. 1-2. Strike 3 called. Good inning, though, for the Mariners as they get 2 runs on 4 hits and leave a couple. Blue Jays coming to bat. Mariners lead it 2-0.
And the Phillies have a big inning here. A 3-run inning.
Credit Dominic Brown with a nice swing. He had that runner in scoring position. Pitch tail back out over the middle of the plate. You saw Brantley's target was on the inside corner. And Brown just stroked it into left center.
Were it not for the double play ball off the bat of Howard, this would be a real messy inning. As it is, 3 runs have scored, 4 hits. And Eovaldi gets a strike on the outside corner to John Mayberry, who was 1 for 4 last night.
Like that rough start that Eovaldi had against his former team, the Dodgers, when Ethier hit that 3-run homer in the first inning.
So the emails so far have had an injury theme to them. Matt in Coconut Creek says he just had his shoulder operated on, torn labrum and bicep tendon. Wondering if we feel sorry for him, if we can go down to Bull's Barbecue, get pulled pork sandwich and then some Chicky and Pete fries.
One quick tweet. Many want to have some Jupiter Hammerhead updates. They're hoping to clinch and to win the Florida State League title tonight, and they have gotten off to an early 2-0 lead. Christian Yelich with an RBI base hit.
It seems like every time they score a run, Yelich is involved somehow in the postseason. That's where the Marlins' best prospects lie right now in their system, and that's at high A, which means that group would start in Double A.
And I kind of take offense to the 309 Expressway tweet that says, "Hey Tommy, why are you such a Philly hater?" When have I ever expressed that? Who have you been listening to, 309 Expressway?
There's a roller wide of third.
This franchise was a big part of my tremendous career. So go have a cheesesteak and watch the rest of the game.
Well, maybe this will make you feel better. Jerry from Port St. Lucie. I don't have a question, just a comment. I'm a big Phillies fan, but I want to let you know that the Marlin announcers are great to listen to.
I feel better. Thanks, Jerry.
There you go. Blood pressure coming down. 1-2 pitch from Eovaldi. And a swing and a miss. Mayberry goes down. Eovaldi has a rough first. Stanton's coming up. Marlins in a 3-0 hole early on.
Stop everything. Checkers famous seasoned fries have arrived on a burger. Cha-ching! Checkers new Fry Lovers Burger. Hand seasoned 100% beef. Classic American. Topped with our famous seasoned fries. Plus our smoke and sausage or checker burger. Your choice, $1 each. Now that's cha-ching. Checkers, feast on. Cool off with an iced tea, Dasani water, or classic cone. Now just $1.
I'm Raul Stryker Jr. Join Fox Sports Florida. Tune into our broadcast where you'll hear Play Ball. For everything Miami Marlins, visit foxsportsflorida.com.
I knew I needed to talk to somebody about money when I opened my design shop.
When Mom got sick,
my daughter engaged already.
I felt sort of stuck.
I went to SunTrust.
I just wanted to talk to someone.
And they listened.
Helped me see options I didn't know I had.
Now I'm moving forward.
Now I can focus on what's really important.
I'm better off than I thought.
At SunTrust, we're here to help you find the answers you're looking for.
This is my baby girl.
That's why we start every conversation with, how can we help you?
The first look is only the beginning. Introducing a stunning work of technology. Introducing the entirely new Lexus ES. And the first ever ES hybrid. See your South Florida Lexus dealer.
サニー初公開は10月11日木曜日 FX だけ。
Our telecast tonight from Philly in high definition, and it's brought to you by H. Gregg. 3-0. And for Roy Halladay, as if he needs it, a little more confidence going in to this second inning. A 3-0 lead. Halladay, when he gets the lead, obviously has been dynamite in his career.
Giancarlo has 4 career hits, 4 for 18 against Halladay. Halladay struck him out 6 times.
And he misses outside. Stanton, Carlos Lee, Greg Dobbs. And that pitch misses outside. For Halladay, maybe the Marlins are fortunate it's not a 4-0 game. In his career, when he's been given a lead of 4 or more runs, his record is 110-0. How about that? Now his teams are 122-9 in those games. So there have been some of those games where his ball club has not won. But when he's been given a 4-run lead, he is 110-0. He wasn't real happy about that last call to Giancarlo Stanton.
That's an impressive stat, by the way.
And that's why Halladay wasn't happy with pitch number 5. It was on the black and at the knees. Stanton arrives at first. Here's Carlos Lee with Greg Dobbs right behind him. We hope you play along tonight, either on Twitter at FS Marlins or email us, foxsportsflorida.com. Click on the Marlins link. Once you get there, go to Game Connect and then to the Ask the Announcers icon.
Craig tweets, it's an interesting one. You get it out after this pitch. How come the Philly fans were booing Carlos Ruiz?
Oh, come on.
Man, they'll boo anybody. Well, they weren't. They yell his nickname, which is Chooch, which sounds like a boo. So no boos for Chooch.
No, not Chooch.
No.
Carlos Ruiz is one of the most beloved Phillies on this team. Sharp ground ball. Martinez starts the double play, and Utley turns.
Redefining the class once again. Right now, lease a new 2012 Camry for $199 a month for 24 months. Plus, your maintenance is covered with Toyota Care for 2 years.
Hey, Peyton.
Welcome back. Thanks, Papa. What are we going to do to kick off this season?
Same thing as last season. 1 million free Papa John's pizzas.
Good idea. 2 million free pizzas. I like it.
No. 1 million free Papa John pizzas.
2 million pizzas it is. Let's do it.
All season long, Papa John's has 2 million free pizzas for Papa Rewards members. Sign up now at papajohns.com, where a large buffalo chicken pizza is $10 or any large $2 more.
Better ingredients?
Better pizza. Papa John's.
Really? 2 million free pizzas?
Wait till you see what's next.
Wow, you guys have it easy. I wish I had U-verse when I was your age. In my day, we didn't have these fancy wireless receivers. If I had a sleepover, I couldn't just move the TV into the playroom. No, we had to watch movies in the den because that's where the TV outlet was. And if Dad was snoring on the couch, we muscled through it. For real? Your generation has it made.
The wireless receiver, only from AT&T U-verse. Get a free wireless receiver with a qualifying U-verse plan. Rethink possible.
Fox Sports Florida brings you a front row seat to the most dynamic team in baseball. See it all happen live. Your town, your team. The Miami Marlins on Fox Sports Florida, where Marlins fans live.
Bottom of the second, 3-0. The Phillies off to a quick start. Roy Halladay's been tough on the mound. Nathan Eovaldi struggled in the first. Michael Martinez, Roy Halladay, and Jimmy Rollins coming up. First pitch ground ball. Solano goes and gets the big hop and flips it on over to Lee for the first out.
Boy, that's certainly what Nathan Eovaldi needs. A quick low pitch inning here in the second.
Oh, there's an out. And here comes Halladay. We've had this question a few times here in Philly, and this is from Carol in Kissimmee. Why does the person behind home plate have a radar gun, and who does he call the information to? There's a gentleman back there with a radar gun, and he's got a walkie-talkie. He calls the pitch speed and he calls the actual pitch to the scoreboard, and they put it up on the scoreboard, not only the pitch speed but also what type of pitch. That was a 93-mile-an-hour fastball, and that was a slider at 85 miles an hour. There you go.
And a pretty good one. So then just like that, the scoreboard gets it up so the fans in attendance can check things out. I got to get this one in, Rich. Remember last night you made reference to the fact that as a young boy you had a goat, and the tweet is, what was your goat's name, Rich? It's a tweet from Alex.
See, you got to learn to save those questions for like a 10-run blowout in the 8th inning.
Yeah, but the way I read the tweets, by then I couldn't find it.
Here's the 1-0 to Rollins. Yodel.
Yeah. Yodel. Okay.
Yodel was the go. I grew up on a small farm. Yodel was good at eating poison oak and blackberry vines.
And from what I understand, 5th inning score still 2-0 Jupiter.
Here's the 1-1 pitch. And Rollins takes inside from Eovaldi.
Toronto hits a home run, you can win big. Audio home theater systems and big TVs like an 80-inch Sharp Aquos Quadron. To enter, visit hitahomerunwithsharp.ca. Bottom of 2 here at Rogers Center. Kelly Johnson will start things off for the Jays. Kelly was 1 for 7 on the quick road trip into Boston. He played in 2 of those games. Former Vizquel played on Sunday. Johnson drives this to left, but there's Michael Saunders positioned perfectly to take that line drive. Erasmo Ramirez, 22-year-old right-hander, making just his 5th big league start. He made the opening day roster pitching out of the bullpen, then he was optioned back to AAA on the 5th of May. He was recalled on June 13th and made his first big league start the next night.
Had some elbow problems this year, and this is actually his first start since leaving a June 30th game with an elbow injury. Made an appearance in relief last Friday, pitching a scoreless inning in that game, and Eric Wedge says he wants to take a look at him in the starting role as they finish up the season the last couple of weeks.
Swing by Aaron Sebia, and he falls behind 0-2. JP returned to the ball club in Boston. He had a hit in 7 at-bats against the Red Sox. Trying to knock some of that rust off. Another good breaking ball. The 3-pitch strikeout for Ramirez. I mentioned Ramirez, just 22 years old. He's from Nicaragua. This is his 13th game. 0-2 record with a 3.69 ERA. We mentioned he was born in Nicaragua. He comes from Rivas, Nicaragua, just the 12th major league player born in Nicaragua. Of course, the most famous player from there is El Presidente, Dennis Martinez. Rajay Davis. Rajay looking to get on base with 2 outs, and there's another good fastball. 93. How might it affect the hitter, given the fact that Ramirez is only 5'11", but he's got a big arm?
Yeah, he does. A small guy doesn't really create that downward plane like you want to see from a starter, but looks like he's got a nice free and easy arm.
There's a pop-up on the breaking ball. Ackley takes the pop-up. Blue Jays go down in order. It takes just 8 pitches for Ramirez to set down the Blue Jays.
The Blue Jays on Sportsnet. Brought to you by your local independently owned home hardware and building center location. Homeowners helping homeowners.
Welcome to Toronto. Open air stadium tonight at Rogers Center. A hint of fall in the air for sure. Franklin Gutierrez single to right his first time up. Gutierrez has been plagued by injuries the last couple of seasons for Seattle. one of the better center fielders in all of baseball, and when he can stay healthy, he makes this a very good defensive team.
This is the #1 team in the American League fielding wise. Gutierrez mixed 2 months with a concussion, and he got it a weird way too.
And the pickoff play at first got hit in the face, and it was really interesting, but he's had a series of significant injuries, and there's a line drive that's caught by Escobar at shortstop. So Brandon Morrow has now retired 5 straight.
This time he got away with a breaking ball that hits hard right at Escobar, positioned perfectly. Just has to take a step to his right to record the out. Been playing much better defense lately.
Escobar did not start in the game on Sunday, and Manny Echeverria played at shortstop, so he's got a couple of days under his belt to regroup. Echeverria is on the bench tonight. Kyle Seager, interesting story. Seager picked up an RBI in the first. That was his 56th run batted in on the road. His 80th overall. And there's a base hit. Rajai Davis going to have to hustle to keep Seager from going to second, and he can't do it. Seager just shoots one inside the bag at third. It rolls all the way down the left field line. He's got his second hit of the night.
Boy, this guy just wears out the Blue Jays. Every time it seems like the Blue Jays play him, he's getting 2 and 3 hits. And why not? When you swing a bat like this and find a hole, nobody's standing there, as he just wiggles it right down the left field line for extra bases. He came into this game hitting .421 against the Blue Jays this year. And he's already put together a multi-hit game.
It's 2 for 2 with a double. John Jaso. He reached on a fielder's choice and was thrown out at the plate as he ran through a stop sign coming around third. Rajai Davis threw a strike to Aaron Seavey, who tagged him out. Could he even been a bigger inning for Seattle?
Yeah. That was on a hit by Saunders. Rajai winds up and throws it all the way to home plate to get Jaso.
That's a foul ball. For Davis, it's his 7th outfield assist. And he's done a nice job of improving his mechanics throwing. And he's really worked hard to charge the ball, get rid of that ball, and stay on top of it to make sure it doesn't tail at all on its way to home plate.
Arm seems a lot stronger this year. You can do that. You can improve if you have better mechanics, which he has this year.
Ball gets away from Aaron Seavey, and Seager will move up. Ball was in the dirt. It kicked off Aaron Seavey's shin guard, and Seager read it perfectly.
Infield ends. Got to come in now. Curveball down. Aaron Seavey. You see that first spin once it hits the dirt, and it glances off Aaron Seavey just far enough. If you're an alert base runner, you can move up on that one.
1-2, 1 out. Seager at third base. That's a real problem for the Mariners as a team. They've hit just .243 with runners in scoring position. When Oakland swept the 3-game series in Seattle, the Mariners were just 2 for 21 with runners in scoring position. Plenty of opportunities, but they couldn't cash in those run scoring situations. One and 2. Just off the outside corner.
Jaso's always had a good eye at the plate. I think he understands the strike zone. He does a good job of battling that pitcher. That's why they have him hitting in the cleanup spot right there, just to make contact and try and get that runner in from third base.
Off the glove of Kelly Johnson. That'll go into center. Seager comes home with the 3rd Mariner run. And Jaso picks up an RBI. Tough on the infielders. You've got to come in, and that limits your range. And Kelly Johnson couldn't handle that shot to his backhand.
Yeah, wouldn't you know it, the batter would smoke one right at you. Do-or-die play right there by Kelly Johnson if he comes up with it. Ball is hit hard by Jaso. And just under his glove and squeaks out into the outfield for another run. Brandon Morrow's getting beat on his fastball. He has given up 6 hits already, all of them off of the fastball. So he's going to start having to mix in something else, or throwing that fastball on the outside part of the plate.
There's a breaking ball strike. When Morrow's on his best, he can throw breaking balls when he's behind in the count. He can throw curveballs, sliders, and changeups, and that's never been a problem. But you're right, tonight his fastball command has been off a bit.
He has said when he is on and he's got that down and away, he can close his eyes and throw it there at will. But tonight he just hasn't been able to throw it into that spot where the hitter can't hit it. Everything has been center cut, and it has been about thigh high.
For Morrow, this is just his 4th start since coming off the DL. That's a foul ball. Boy, that looked awfully close to going over the edge of the bag at third.
Jerry Meals, the umpire down at third base, where it goes over the bag. And he calls that one doesn't. It's just got to get a piece of the third base. That one looked like it might have clipped third base. Blue Jays pick up a break.
1 ball, 2 strikes to Jesus Montero, the catcher. Broken bat, base hit. John Jaso makes the turn around second. He's going to third. Rajay Davis guns him out. Oh, what a throw. Jaso saw the play right in front of him, and Davis has thrown out Jaso twice tonight. Once at home, once at third.
You better stop picking on him. Somewhere in John Jaso's playbook, he says, I can run on Rajay Davis, but that's not happening tonight. The whole key to that play, look how he charges the ball and comes up throwing. Colby Rasmus has to be his eyes as he's going after the ball, and he knows. He comes up throwing. Rasmus was telling him third. And it pays off as Jaso is thrown out again.
Nice hit and bad base running. That's what they're saying on the bench. Picked up an RBI with a single, but for a second time he was erased by Rajay Davis. 2 outs. Michael Saunders, who is playing in left field. Saunders made 102 starts in center field, but since Gutierrez has returned off the DL, he's moved over to left, and that really gives them a very good outfield.
He looks more like a left fielder, doesn't he? Long and lean. He's got a little bit more power. He can play center field because he's a good athlete, but you're not going to take Gutierrez's place out there.
Michael Saunders is from Victoria, BC. He had a big game back in April here. He homered in the 9th inning, part of a 2-run inning where the Mariners came back and tied it, and then he had a grand slam off Luis Perez in the 10th. Ball on the strike.
He's another one who has had big numbers against the Blue Jays this year. Short swing, hits the ball the other way, but if you make a mistake on the inner half, he's able to pull the ball.
He has those 2 doubles, as we mentioned, but he's, or excuse me, 2 home runs, but he's also hit 4 doubles. Changeup he's out in front of. You see the cap Brandon Morrow. He's got a U.S. flag on the left side, a Canadian flag on the right side. It is 9/11. And that's to honor the memory of the victims of 9/11. And baseball, all around baseball tonight, will honor those that lost their lives and the families of those that perished in 9/11. Hard to believe it was that many years ago. September 11, 2001, we shall not forget. And baseball universally has made the memories of that. There was a ceremony before the game, a moment of silence as they commemorated the 9/11 occurrence, and both teams are wearing both flags.
I like how baseball has picked up on that, and every September 11th now they wear the caps with the flags on it to remember that.
Full count, 2 down. Seattle has scored another run here in the third. Kyle Seager with a 1-out double came around to score. He moved to third on a wild pitch and scored on a base hit by John Jaso. Saunders strikes out. The inning is over. But the Mariners add another run. They lead it 3-1. The Blue Jays will start things off with Anthony Gose, bottom of the order. Then back to Brett Lawrie and Colby Rasmus. Jays down by 2.
For tonight's starter, Erasmo Ramirez. He's got an effortless delivery that produces a fastball about 92 or 93 miles per hour. He's got an excellent feel for his changeup. He mixes in a curveball. He's got a slider, a little bit of a cutter that he will use. He fills up the strike zone. Only 7 walks this year in 12 games, so the Blue Jays are going to have to go up there having to hunt for that fastball early in the count against Ramirez.
Well, he's thrown 21 pitches here tonight already. He's only thrown 2 balls. He will fill up the strike zone, so if you stand in against Erasmo Ramirez, you better be ready to swing. Anthony Gose. He's ready to swing. Jumps on the first pitch and gets himself a leadoff single. Anthony Gose did a little bit of everything in Boston against the Red Sox.
Starting to show the extreme talent that he has. You can see him just outrun the baseball in that instance right there to get a stolen base. He came up with a clutch catch in right field. And how about his first big league home run? A boom shot to right center field. Anthony Gose showing off why the Blue Jays love his talent.
He is now 7 for 13 since he's rejoined the Blue Jays. Brett Lawrie takes one downstairs.
How about the speed on the bases also? I mean, that is something spectacular to watch. Right now, he doesn't have the greatest technique, but right now he's got outstanding speed.
He's second on the Blue Jays in steals. Second, of course, to Rajay Davis. I'm surprised he's still at first. Jesus Montero has not thrown ball well all year long. He's only thrown out 14% of the runners. 8 caught stealing in 57 attempts.
Yeah, he is having a long talk. Anthony Gose with Torey Lovullo over there at third base. Just making sure that he has the green light and when is it a good time to go. Right now 0-2, maybe not.
Or he stays alive.
I was talking to Chad McTulloch today, and I was asking him about Anthony Gose, and he said one of the things that he was talking to him about this year is how disruptive he can be while he's at first base. If he doesn't steal, how much pressure you put on that pitcher and what he could do to help that batter at the plate. Everybody in the ballpark knows that he's going to steal at some point. But even if he stays at first base, he can still cause a lot of distraction.
Now, Kenny Lofton always talked about sometimes the threat of a stolen base is as valuable as the stolen base itself. There he goes. Base hit to right field. Gose touches second. He's headed for third. Because Gose was running, Ackley went to cover the bag, and Brett Laurie gets a broken bat base hit into right.
You know, as a hitter, it's very tough, especially with 2 strikes, to say, all right, if the runner takes off, I'm going to hit the ball to right field. But Brett Laurie, I think, just fights this ball off. I don't think he was trying to do that. It just happened to work out that way. You can take a dump truck and drive it through the right side of that infield. It was so wide open. And the Blue Jays are starting to show they can play that hit and run or first to third.
Well, they had that beautiful inning in Boston in the 4th inning. Just by moving Rajay Davis, having a hit and run, and then Anthony Gose with the fake break at first took Dustin Pedroia out of his position. It led to 3 runs. Nobody out. Runners at the corners. Rasmus with a good cut.
This is a good matchup, I think, for Colby Rasmus. Ramirez throws lots of fastballs. He will see a fastball in one of his at-bats.
Rasmus with 71 ribbies. That's a new high. He's just one away from tying his career high in home runs. Fly ball to right, not that deep. Tagging at third is Gose. Eric Thames squares up on it, and the high throw, that airmails everything. Laurie moves into second. Gose comes in to score. Eric Thames didn't have too far to make that throw, but the ball slipped out of his hand and sailed over the catcher.
He only has 1 assist this year for the Seattle Mariners, so you have to, even though it's a short fly ball to right field with the outstanding speed of Gose at third base, you got to challenge things. The problem he has right here is he uncorks that one, throws it over everybody. It allows Brett Laurie also to tag up and move into scoring position.
And Eric won't be too pleased about that throw. It eliminates any possibility of a double play. Edwin Encarnacion, now it's a 3-2 Mariner lead. Well, we have seen the speed of Anthony Gose just take games over. I mean, that was a shallow fly ball. Maybe Rajay and Anthony, the only guys that tag on that. I mean, that wasn't that deep, and you can't anticipate that Thames is going to throw a bad throw like that.
We saw the same thing happen in Boston, in Fenway Park over the weekend. And it was Omar Vizquel both times, short fly balls to left field, and that Gose was able to score on.
Eric Thames was traded at the July trade deadline to the Mariners for Steve Delabar. I think both clubs are pleased with the players they picked up. Talked to Chris Chambliss about Thames, and he really likes the upside with the bat.
Yes. They tried to get him last year. They wanted to trade for him last year. This year, Steve Delabar, good move by the Jays.
Hopped up behind home plate. Montero circles under it, makes the catch. Encarnacion is retired. 2 down. Of course, it is Blackberry Tweeting Tuesday, and every Tuesday we'll hear from John Farrell, the manager, and it'll be coming up after this half inning, right from the dugout, to get his thoughts about this ball game. He has to be thinking an awful lot about Anthony Gose lately, given the impact that Gose has had since his return.
I think he's on everybody's mind, even the opposition when he's on base.
2 outs. cued off the end of the bat, and it'll hit into foul territory. Adam Lind had a single into left field. He was thrown out trying to go first to third on Yunel Escobar's RBI single. Escobar drove in Colby Erasmus, but Franklin Gutierrez threw out Lind at third. Outfielders are having a big night. Rajay Davis has 2 outfield assists, and Gutierrez has 1 already.
Base runners are feeling pretty goosey tonight, thinking they can go first to third. Or
well, they had an off day yesterday, and everybody's fresh.
I guess that's it.
Ball on a strike. This is popped up left field. Michael Saunders near the foul line. There makes the catch. The inning is over. But the Blue Jays score a run. They make it a 1-run game. We'll head to the 4th. 3-2 Seattle. Farrell from the Blue Jays dugout. John, Brandon Morrow got off to a rough start. 2 runs on 4 hits in the first inning. What do you think was the root of his problem early on?
You know, Buck, a lot of pitchers up out over the plate, elevated some fastballs that they stayed on the other way, and they bunched some hits together. The key for us is to get them back down the zone a little bit more consistently, and maybe even run some fastballs in on some guys to keep them honest.
Anthony Gose is really making a name for himself the last couple of games. You're going to keep him in the lineup, John?
Yeah, I think tomorrow we'll even see him in left field with Sierra in right field just to make sure that Moises gets some time on the field. But, you know, Anthony's done a great job with the adjustments of his hands at the plate, and it's paying dividends.
John, thanks for your time.
Okay, guys.
Anthony has made some dramatic adjustments at the plate. Looks like a different player than when he was sent back to AAA. Eric Thames, he was one of those young outfield prospects the Blue Jays had. He and Travis Snyder were traded right before the trade deadline. Snyder went to Pittsburgh, of course, and Thames to the Mariners. This is popped up, and Laurie will give chase, but he's going to run out of room.
I think it was a good deal for the Blue Jays. They have a surplus of outfielders, Thames and Snyder, and they didn't really burst on the scene, if you will, at the big league level. They had some replacements in Rajay Davis and Anthony Gose, and you had Sierra down in the minor leagues. They had a chance to get an electric arm. So I think you make that deal all the time. When all the pieces were in place for the Toronto Blue Jays, when they had a chance to go out and get a couple of good arms, I think they had to make it, and I think the Blue Jays have come out on top.
This is Thames' 4th professional season. He's 25 years old, so obviously he's got a lot of time to really develop and turn into that offensive player that everybody thought he would be. He hit .308 in the minor leagues for his career, and at times you see a lot of power, a lot of plate discipline, but other times you see inconsistency.
And for the Jays, they had replacements. They had a chance in both of those trades to pick up a big league arm, one in Steve Delabar and the other one in Brad Lincoln. You saw Ghost, you see Sierra, so they've got some of these young everyday outfielders coming up that they could afford to trade an Eric Thames or a Travis Snyder.
Full count. Eric Thames leading off the top of the fourth. Strikes out. Well, that's the fourth strikeout for Brandon Morrow. He gets Thames to chase that off-speed pitch.
That is a pitch, a changeup. It looked like he just rolls it right off his fingers. With 2 strikes, 3 and 2, you know the hitter isn't geared for that. They are sitting all over that 95-plus fastball. That time he got Eric Thames on a changeup.
First baseman Mike Carp checks his swing and goes too far. 0-1. Blue Jays play Carp to pull dramatically. Now with a strike, Escobar will go back to deep shortstop. 3 infielders on the right side of the diamond. How about that? Little squibber with that infield playing so deep. Carp hustled. Just saw that play unfold right before him and gets to first base to beat the toss.
Well, he gets them. The only problem is, you see Keller Johnson does everything he can. When he shovels it to first, he throws him a changeup. Ball rolls right up his fingers of his glove, and that's almost like a changeup to Lynn, and it allows Carp to beat it out.
Yeah, got stuck in the webbing of his glove and kind of hung up there and just hung in the air too long. So it's an infield hit for Carp. It comes with 1 out. Shortstop Brendan Ryan struck out his first time up. Shows bunt, takes the strike. Strike 2.
Managers will help out hitters who are struggling a little bit by starting the runner. Try to open up a hole on the infield when the count is in their favor. But right now, being down 0-2, that runner at first is going nowhere.
There's a base hit. An 0-2 base hit for Brendan Ryan. Well, that's the one that hurts. You got a guy hitting under 200 and make a mistake 0-2, and he gets a single to turn the lineup over.
Batting ninth also 0-2. Put him away, but he can't. 91 mile an hour, and Ryan was able to turn it over.
So top of the order now. Runners at first and second, 1 out for Seattle. They lead it 3-2. Dustin Ackley 1 for 2 so far. Throws a fastball strike. Seattle has 9 hits already.
Seven singles in a double, and they've been able to just cash in 3 of those runs. They've got a ton of base runners already here in the 4th inning.
As we heard from John Farrell assessing Brandon Morrow's start tonight, he said he felt like the fastball command has been off and he'd like to see him use the fastball inside to both lefties and righties. Just throw a few more pitches inside. Another pitch out over the plate, hooked foul, looked like a changeup that time.
Ball's up. He's got to keep that ball down if he wants to get that ground ball double play.
Another changeup, another foul. So Aaron Seavey would go to the mound, see if they can come up with a plan to get Ackley to hit into a double play. That's exactly what Blue Jays would love to see here. First and second, 1 out.
Yeah, 2 pitches, or excuse me, 1 pitch and get 2 outs. Try to keep that pitch count down. Brandon Morrow's thrown 73 pitches already.
Yeah, and that's a red flag. You don't want him out there laboring. Obviously, given his problems with injuries, he missed 2.5 months of the regular season. Another foul back by Ackley. Morrow missed 13 starts. When you think about it, Morrow missed 13 starts. Drabek missed 15 starts, and Hutchison missed 14 to this point. Obviously, Drabek and Hutchison are done for the season. We might not see them until after the All-Star break next year.
That's what I'm thinking. More towards the end of the year. Ackley is a tough customer. He very rarely strikes out. It looks like he's got a pretty good idea at the plate. I'd say try one of those sliders down and in, but he's the type of guy that just won't swing at it.
Yeah, he's got a very good eye at the plate, even with 2 strikes. Another 1-2 pitch. Another changeup. Bounce to Lind. He steps on the bag. That's all he'll get. Ackley out in front of that changeup finally hit a fair ball, and he's retired. We mentioned the 9 hits allowed by Brandon Morrow. That's a season high. He has given up 8 hits twice this season. Way back in April, Tampa Bay had 8 hits against him in 6 innings, and then Tampa Bay again in August, 2 starts ago, 8 hits in 6 2/3. So this is a new season high.
They see him all the time. We'll see him 4, maybe 5 times in a season. Seattle sees him maybe once or twice. And his numbers coming into this game against his former team were off the charts.
3-0 in 3 previous starts, and he hasn't given up much. Different story tonight. He is really not as sharp as we have seen him since coming off the DL tonight. Franklin Gutierrez 1 for 2. That was a good breaking ball. Here's where Morrow, I'm sure, is thinking back to that 0-2 pitch he threw Brendan Ryan. Ryan got a single into left field on an 0-2 count. That's where he has Gutierrez right now.
He hit his breaking ball last time up and lined out the shortstop. Maybe you can go upstairs and use one of his patented fastballs.
Another breaking ball. Gutierrez stays alive. I think this is where John Farrell was thinking about that fastball inside. You can see Gutierrez got to that breaking ball. It wasn't a bad pitch. So he's thinking about covering the outer half of the plate.
Time for a little jam sandwich right here at that fastball.
Straighten them up. 0-2, 2 outs. Runners at second and third. Seattle with a 3-2 lead. Breaking ball hit to short. Escobar in time. The inning is over. Seattle gets a couple of hits and strands a pair. The Blue Jays in the bottom of the 4th. It'll be Yunel Escobar. He's got an RBI single already. Kelly Johnson and J.P. Arancibia, the catcher. a home run in the 4th inning. A lucky winner will take home a Sharp home theater system, including audio soundbar, Blu-ray player, and Aquos LCD TV. To enter, visit hitahomerunwithsharp.ca. Big is too small a word for it. Now, Seattle got off to a fast start. They scored 2 in their half of the 1st inning. Blue Jays scored a run, then they traded runs in the 3rd, so that's where we are right now. Seattle leads at 3-2. Yunel Escobar drove in the run in the 1st. Escobar up to 47 RBIs now.
Swinging a lot better. He's not really wrapping that bat around his shoulder as much and making that swing play so much longer. Wayne Murphy spent a lot of time with all of these hitters in the cages.
Popped up over near the Mariners dugout, and that'll get back into the camera bay.
Escobar at time gets a little bit long. He's got a little bit of a loop in his swing where he'll hit a lot of fly balls. When he's leveling out that swing and hitting line drives to left center and right center field, he's an offensive force for a shortstop. He hit that ball in Boston, and that was a laser to left field for a home run.
There's a laser to the gap in left center. That's going to split the outfielders and go all the way to the wall. Escobar is at second. He's going to stop there with a leadoff double. Swinging a hot bat right now. Escobar with the double. Let's check in with Jamie Campbell. Jason Hamill on the mound for the Orioles against Matt Moore, the young left-hander, and so far the Orioles have the upper hand. Lots of showdown series going on around baseball. Tigers and White Sox hooked up second of 4 games in Chicago. And Chicago with a couple of home runs, Alex Rios and A.J. Przinsky back-to-back last night. Kelly Johnson fouls one off his foot.
Great opportunity for the Tigers facing the team that they're chasing. They've got to do something in those 4 games. I think they need to sweep them the rest of the way. Win all 3 of the games to have a shot.
Detroit 3 back now. They've lost 4 straight. Their defense really hurt them last night. Omar Infante and Miguel Cabrera committing errors. Lots of great games all around baseball. Doug Fister against Jake Peavy tonight in Chicago. New York's at Boston. Hiroki Kuroda against John Lester. Good changeup from Ramirez. Don't look now, but the Red Sox have a 2-1 lead over the Yankees.
It's early.
Yeah, it's early, but I tell you what, that's a very heated rivalry, and you know the Red Sox would love to spoil the Yankees' pennant hopes.
Yeah, we said that when we were in Boston. Throw out the records when those 2 teams meet. It's like that neighborhood rivalry in high school. One team can be really good and one team can be really bad. It doesn't matter. There's a little bit something extra on the line when those 2 teams get together.
John Lester is trying to be the first Red Sox player with 5 straight 10-win seasons since Roger Clemens did it from 85 to 93. Tonight's another BlackBerry Tweeting Tuesday. You can stay up to date with all the latest Blue Jays news and information by following the club on Twitter. Submit your questions during tonight's game to @BlueJays, and your question could be selected as our Twitter fan question of the night. Lots of fans on hand here who are always involved in the Twitter Tuesday question of the night.
And they're always good questions, too. Excellent job thinking and trying to stump us, asking our opinions.
Pretty hard to do that, though.
Yeah, that's true.
We'll take any challenge. Come up with a good question. He's got one for us right now, and he's got his BlackBerry out, that's for sure. J.P. Arancibia, he struck out his first time up.
Fastball for show, I think. Ramirez versus Arancibia. He wants to get him out with a breaking ball. JP has had that ability with runners in scoring position to raise the level of his concentration and find a way to get him in.
When he broke his hand, he was really in a groove with the bat. He'd homered the night before, and then he took that foul tip off his right hand and fractured his hand.
John Farrell had just moved him up in the batting order into big RBI spots. I believe he was hitting 5th when he was hurt. There is the strike to ball ratio that we were talking about earlier against Ramirez. He'll throw you a lot of strikes.
Well, I tell you one thing, managers love that ratio. You get quick resolutions to innings, and you keep your infielders engaged, and that's important. Seattle, as Pat mentioned, the best fielding team in the majors. They've played 93 airless games this year. This is their 142nd game. I mean, just think about that. But if you have a pitcher like Ramirez, who's throwing strike after strike after strike, every defender on the field anticipates the ball being put into play.
Yep, and they're on their toes, and they're into the game, and they're moving guys and positioning themselves. And as a pitcher, when you've got that type of defense like the Seattle Mariners have, don't you think that will build their confidence to throw more strikes, keep the ball down?
Outside. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Ramirez had a 10 strikeout game against the Athletics on the 25th of June. Fouls this one back. In that game, he pitched 8 innings, struck out 10, as we mentioned. Gave up just 3 hits. He's one of 11 rookies this year to have a double-digit strikeout game. Of course, you know who the leader of the pack is in that department. Yu Darvish. He has 8 double-digit strikeout games this season. This is popped up on the infield, actually in quickly from second. Arancibia got jammed, and it's a soft pop-up to the second baseman.
Matt Moore on that list?
Matt Moore's on the list. He had a 10 strikeout game against the White Sox at the end of May. Hisashi Iwakuma of the Mariners, he leads the rookies in strikeouts this season. He had a 13 strikeout game against the Blue Jays on the 30th of July. Wei-Yin Chen of the Orioles has a 12 strikeout game. How about Chris Archer? He's got an 11 strikeout game. Now he's made 3 starts.
Yeah. That strikeout game that you were just talking about just happened over the weekend.
Rajay Davis hits it right to the shortstop. Brendan Ryan on the money. Inning is over. Blue Jays get a leadoff double. Can't do a thing with it. Mariners have a 3-2 lead. Now it's time for a Blue Jays Central update. Here's Jamie Campbell and Jose Cruz Jr. in the Blackberry Broadcast Studio. It's time for the fan of the game. Congratulations to Megan Nakamura for being selected tonight's BlackBerry Tweeting Tuesday fan of the game. If you'd like to be selected as the BlackBerry Tweeting Tuesday fan of the game, send us a picture and tell us why you should be selected. For more information, log on to BlueJays.com/fan of the game. Megan had a great picture there with JP Arancibia. That's got to be the most highly sought picture in all of the Blue Jays. Young ladies want to take the picture with JP.
I'd say throw in Brett Laurie in that conversation also.
Yeah, I'll give you that. Kyle Seager. Mentioned Seager had an RBI. He's 2 for 2 with a run scored and a run driven in. Seager is playing third base. He might be better suited to play second base, but in the way this team is lined up right now, Dustin Ackley's playing second base and Seager's playing third. Remember when we first saw Seager, we'd see him intermittently. He'd play a little bit of third, and once in a while you'd see his swing. But boy, he has really taken hold of his everyday role.
17 home runs, 80 RBIs. That's pretty good numbers for a third baseman. In that ballpark in Safeco, it's not a great hitter's ballpark.
This is hit high and deep, and you can tell this one goodbye. Kyle Seager, his third hit of the night. His 18th home run of the season.
Yeah, again, he continues to wear out the Toronto Blue Jays this season. He came into this game, hit a .420 against Toronto pitching. This is going to be his first home run. It looked like a changeup for Morrow. And he smokes that ball to right field. He's had 3 at-bats tonight against Morrow. He's 3 for 3. It's a good-looking swing.
Yeah, he's got a good-looking swing, and he's certainly taking advantage. When you think about Seager last year, he had 3 home runs and 13 RBIs. Got 182 at-bats. Chris Chambus, the hitting coach, pretty pleased with the way this youngster has taken off. Seager, 3 hits tonight. He's now 11 for 22 against the Jays this year.
There you go. Even I could figure that one out.
That's pretty good. So Seattle has extended their lead now to, it's a 2-run lead at 4-2. Mariners have not fared well in this ballpark over their last 41 games. They've won just 11 of those 41. But they're off to a good start tonight against Brandon Morrow. John Jaso, the DH. Brett Cecil starts to loosen up behind Brandon Morrow. Ground ball. Kelly Johnson to his right. Jaso's retired, first out of the inning. Let's check in with Jamie Campbell. Steve Johnson has come out of the bullpen to take over for Hamill, and boy, oh boy, the team has really had some tough breaks recently with injuries. Losing Nick Markakis for the rest of the season with a fractured thumb, and now the possibility of Jason Hamill being out.
But you know, Buck Showalter, none of that woe is me stuff. Let's come to the ballpark and figure out a way to win a ball game. They've lost 3 leadoff hitters this year.
Yeah, Brian Roberts first, and then
Nolan
Nick Markakis and Nolan Reimel, all 3.
Yep, gone. So they'll figure something out, and they'll put up a good battle.
Jesus Montero lines it to right, goes backs up a couple of steps. Tonight's BlackBerry Tweeting Tuesday question of the night. Jose Cruz Jr. The Jays have 7 games left with the Yankees, 4 with the O's, and 3 with the Rays. Who will the Jays knock out of the playoffs? That's a great question.
Oh, you're going to give that one
to
me, huh?
Oh, I'll just let you start.
Okay, well, I think, okay, 7. I think that series against the Yankees. Thanks, Jose. That series with the Yankees here at Rogers Center, those last 4 games, I think that's where it's going to happen.
Going to knock the Yankees out.
Yes.
Wow. Bold prediction.
Yep.
I agree with you. I think the Yankees are hanging by a thread. But then again, Baltimore, I mean, how many pitchers can they lose? You lose Hamill, and Hamill had thrown the ball well for them all year long, and he had his knee surgically repaired. Yep. So that would be a tough blow.
For some reason,
Michael Saunders drives it to center, and that's going to hit on the turf and bounce out of play. Michael Saunders with his second hit of the night.
That's another guy who's just torn up the Blue Jays this year offensively. He has had some big games against Toronto. And just like that, John Farrell gets on the phone to see if his starter or his reliever is ready. And he has already made the move.
Well, Brandon Morrow had a rough night tonight. Never really got into the flow of commanding the strike zone. He will leave this ball game having given up 4 runs on 11 hits. It's a disappointing outing for him tonight. And he'll hope that the bullpen can cool off the Mariners. It'll be Brett Cecil on in relief with 2 down in the 5th. Brandon Morrow allows the Mariners 11 hits in 4 2/3. That ties his career high. He also gave up 11 hits to Kansas City right here in this ballpark on August 23rd last year. And he'll turn things over to Brett Cecil.
Cecil making his 3rd relief appearance since they moved him into the bullpen when they called him back up from the minor leagues at the beginning of this month. He can give you multiple innings out of that bullpen.
Throwing against his former teammate Eric Thames, who has struck out twice. Once swinging, once looking. 2 outs. Situation could be much more serious had not the Mariners stranded 5 already.
And had a couple thrown out. 1 at home and 1 at third.
Just a 2-run game. And just late on that pitch and fouls it back. Cecil quickly ahead, 0-2.
Got away with a couple of hanging breaking balls right there to Eric Thames. Thames looked like he was coming out of his shoes to swing at that one. He's already hit a home run against the Blue Jays this year. That came against Carlos Villanueva, if you remember, and was really the difference in the ball game back in Seattle earlier this season.
Right on that pitch as well. Thames' home run came on August 1st, a Wednesday night game against Carlos Villanueva. That was Villanueva's first loss of the season. A 2-run home run to center. Cut out and missed. Thames has struck out 3 times. So Brett Cecil comes out of the bullpen and strands a base runner at second base. The Mariners score a run on a leadoff home run by Kyle Seager that knocked Brandon Morrow out of the ballgame. With Sharp contest on Facebook today. There are 5 ways to win this year, including a grand prize draw for Canada's largest LCD TV, a 90-inch Sharp Aquos. Join Sharp Canada on Facebook today. Brandon Morrow thankful to Brett Cecil for saving that run for him. And a disappointing start for Brandon Morrow. We mentioned that 11 hits allowed ties his career high. Anthony Gose singled and scored his first time up back in the 3rd inning. Both Ramirez and Gose played in the Pacific Coast League. Ramirez at Tacoma, Gose at Las Vegas, so chances are Gose is familiar with Ramirez.
And Ramirez familiar with him. Trying to throw some off-speed pitches. That's where Gose has had some problems with the changeup or the breaking ball down and away. Ramirez goes right there.
There's a changeup that does it. Gose strikes out. That's the first out of the bottom of the 5th. Here's the pitching line for Brandon Morrow. He goes 4 2/3, allows 11 hits, 4 earned runs, walked the batter, and struck out 4. And as Pat mentioned, he was helped by the fact that Rajay Davis has thrown out a pair of base runners. Same base runner. He threw out John Jason with the plate and then threw him out at 3rd. Could have been a much worse score right now.
This didn't look like the fastball command was there for Brandon tonight. Not like it's been pretty much all season long. And tried to go to some more changeups and off-speed pitches, and then the Mariners just kept hitting that too.
Brett Laurie 1 for 2. He mentioned Ramirez was born in Nicaragua. Of course, Dennis Martinez, who had such a phenomenal career, came up with Baltimore. There's a drive toward the alley in right field. Eric Thames runs underneath it and makes the catch. Laurie is retired. 2 down. But we mentioned 12 Nicaraguan-born players have played in the big leagues. Ramirez is the 9th pitcher to pitch in the big leagues that was born in Nicaragua. Dennis Martinez 245 wins, 193 losses.
Really? I didn't know he had that many wins.
Oh, yeah, he had quite a career. Rasmus goes after the first pitch. Should be an easy play for Saunders, an easy inning for Ramirez. Just 8 pitches for the Mariner right-hander. We've played 5. Seattle has a 4-2 lead. Enjoying those big comfy green chairs in the TD Comfort Zone are guests of TD. The TD Comfort Zone, courtesy of TD. Well, a great night for baseball. The roof is wide open, and it couldn't be more pleasant here at Rogers Center. Brett Cecil on in relief of Brandon Morrow. Mike Karp, base hit into center field on the first pitch. That's how the 6th inning starts off for Seattle. Karp's second hit of the night. Mariners got their hitting shoes on tonight.
Yeah, this is a team, we've said it a couple times already, last in the American League in hitting percentage. Batting just 232 as a team. They are raking tonight. 12 hits now for the Mariners.
Brendan Ryan had an 0-2 base hit his last time up. He's 1 for 2. Struck out and singled. Time he bunts it foul. Aaron Seavey jumped on it quickly, but it was in foul territory. Take a look at the Seattle Mariners the last 2 seasons and where they rank offensively in the American League. 14th in average. Runs per game, not even 4 runs a ball game, and that won't serve you well in the American League. Home runs 231. They play in a big ballpark. Tough to hit home runs there. OPS at 647. That's last, and you can see offensively they have a lot of problems. Bunted ball back to the mound. Cecil looked like he bobbled it. He was thinking about going to second. I don't think he got a good grip on the baseball when he went into his glove. Karp moves up on the sacrifice bunt.
If they're going to give you an out, you've got to take it anywhere. Then the manager can figure out the inning the rest of the way. You can see he's set to go to second base. And he comes up, and you're right, just did not have a firm grip on that, and then thought better of it and just spun and got the first out.
You can see he grabbed the thumb of his glove before he felt that baseball in the pocket. He made a smart move to go to first. Leadoff man Dustin Ackley already batting for the 4th time tonight. Bouncing ball to first. Cecil's not going to get there. Brett Cecil got a late break, and Ackley saw it and beat him to first.
Well, first of all, Ackley runs well. That's number one. Number two, Brett Cecil really falls off the mound towards third base. When a left-handed batter's at the plate, he's going to have to realize he's going to have to get over. You can see how he falls off the mound and he just can't get over there. It's not a fair fight. Ackley out of the box from the left side, and Cecil, who falls off towards third base. It's going to be Ackley every single time on that one.
Well, that's the beauty of being a left-handed hitter. You hit that ball on the ground and you have a running start.
And he's got good speed, and Brett falls off the third base side. And when you ground it to the first baseman, the only play he's going to have is with the pitcher, and he can't outrace him to the bag.
Chad Jenkins starting to loosen up for the Blue Jays. Franklin Gutierrez, the center fielder, is the batter. Runners at the corners. John Farrell trying to figure out how to slow down this Mariner offense. Blue Jays have won 4 straight. Trying to win a 5th straight game for the first time since July 15th, 2011. When you lose your regular starting pitchers, it's difficult to string a win streak together.
Anything together. Your hitting can possibly carry you for a while, and then all the injuries happen to the everyday players and they stopped hitting. Then the pitching started getting better.
Outside, 2-0. We're in the 6th inning. And Kyle Seager, single, double, home run already. And he's going to bat, if the Blue Jays don't get a double play, he's going to bat here in the 6th inning. Already 3 for 3. Three and 0. Cecil came into the ball game with 2 outs in the 5th and struck out Eric Thames. And Karp got a leadoff single on the first pitch. Brendan Ryan sacrificed, and then Ackley had an infield hit. Swinging, 3-0. Second for 1, back to first, double play. Well, why not roll the dice when you've got the lowest batting average in the American League? Get a 3-0 count. Gutierrez hits into an inning-ending double play. You can follow your favorite Jays on Twitter and just take a look at the list of Blue Jays players who are involved in Twitter, and you can contact them and keep up to date on everything that's going on with them. JP Aronsevi just back, and he stayed in touch with his fan base while he was on the disabled list with that broken hand. Erasmo Ramirez is doing a pretty good job holding the Blue Jays to 2 runs on 6 hits. Boy, a simple approach. He's got a very clean delivery. Not a whole lot of moving parts to his windup, and that's allowed him to stay in the strike zone.
And it's effortless. It's very smooth. Produces a lot of strikes. He'll use his fastball early in the game and really try to establish that, and then mix in the changeup and the curveball as the game gets a little bit further along.
Did a nice job of going back and forth, and because he throws so many strikes, everybody's thinking about swinging.
And I think that's why he uses the fastball first time through, and then goes to the slider and the changeup a little bit more the second and third time that the lineup has seen him.
Off the end of the bat, soft liner right to Ackley, who is playing up the middle. 1 down. Fans, a reminder, more FIFA World Cup qualifying soccer coming your way on Sportsnet. Just a few minutes away, Canada travels to Panama tonight, 9 p.m. Eastern on Sportsnet 1 and City TV. Big soccer action as the World Cup qualifying continues. Canada is in Panama, and you want to catch it all right here on Sportsnet. 1 down. Adam Lind has gone 1 for 2 so far. Driven down the left side, but that's going to slice into the seats. You can see it's a sparse crowd here at Rogers Center. 12,935. That's the smallest crowd of the season. The Blue Jays overall in baseball have had the 7th largest increase from last year to this in attendance.
Oh, it's been a great summer here at the ballpark, watching a good young Jays team. Fans from all over Canada filling up the Rogers Center this year.
The Blue Jays attendance has gone up 270,000. That's the 7th biggest increase over last year. There's that changeup. Well, what a good one. He strikes out Lynn. 2 down in the inning. That's the 5th strikeout for Ramirez.
He'll show you the fastball early, and then that pulls that one out as he spins that changeup up towards home plate.
Nicaragua used to have a winter league. There was 4 teams that played winter ball in Nicaragua, and they had a pretty good run of players for a while. I remember Al Williams, that pitched for the Twins, a right-handed pitcher. Pitched a total of 5 years and won 35 games. Marvin Bernard, maybe the most successful position player, played 9 seasons with the Giants. I didn't realize this, but he had 105 stolen bases. He was a pretty good little player.
Really?
Extra player.
Yeah, I remember. Sure. Center fielder, extra outfielder.
Of course, Vicente Padilla, who we recently saw with the Red Sox, also from Nicaragua. He has 108 career wins. I know Dennis Martinez has traveled to his country trying to promote baseball with the youngsters. Get them more involved. Big swing by Yunel Escobar. Yunel's had a good night. He drove in the first Blue Jay run in the first and then hit a leadoff double in the 4th, but the Blue Jays left him stranded at second.
That's the last time they got a hit off of Ramirez.
Ramirez has retired 8 straight. Into center field, the right fielder now, Eric Thames, coming over, makes the catch, and the inning is over. That's 9 in a row retired by the young right-hander from Seattle. Mariners lead it 4-2. presented by authority of Rogers Blue Jays Baseball Partnership. It may not be reproduced or retransmitted in any form. Any accounts and descriptions of this game may not be disseminated without the express written consent of Rogers Blue Jays Baseball Partnership. Top of the 7th, the red-hot Kyle Seager had a 3-for-3 night already. He singled, doubled, and homered. Tries to bunt to start the inning.
He's not thinking about the cycle right there. He's thinking about getting on base. It's only a 2-run ball game.
Yeah. And certainly with the Blue Jays' firepower, they can come back at any point. But the Mariners have one of the better bullpens in all of baseball.
And Ramirez is coming off an injury, so I don't know how long they're going to stick with him. If he is on a pitch count, doesn't look like he's going anywhere now.
He's trying to keep that arm loose. He's just 22 years old. Bounces it foul. The Mariners, it's just the 11th of September, but the Mariners in September have a 1.16 ERA out of their bullpen. That's the second best ERA in baseball for the month of September. And they got some big arms down there.
Yeah, we thought they had some good arms when we saw them earlier this year, where they have added some more youngsters out of there who throw triple digits.
Carter Capps and Stephen Pryor, a couple of right-handers, are guys that throw upwards of 100 miles an hour. And that's not even mentioning the closer, Tom Wilhelmsen, who has been terrific. He's second in the major league since the 21st of July with 16 saves. 2-2 pitch to Kyle Seager. Bounce to short, backhanded by Escobar. Strong arm in plenty of time. One down. Let's check in with Jamie Campbell. Derek Jeter 1 for 3 in the ball game. His average at 324. He's just not going to slow down. Hiroki Kuroda, who has been their most consistent pitcher, he has been consistent all year long. 3.15 ERA. He doesn't have the wins that Phil Hughes has, but he's been consistent day in and day out.
Doesn't get the runs like some of the other starters get. Just pitched on the wrong day all season long.
John Lester threw 102 pitches in 5 1/3.
He's too good for that.
Be interesting to see how they approach next year. John Lester had 7 walks tonight in 5 1/3. I mean, he's a guy that's capable of turning it around dramatically in one season. He's done it before, but what a disappointing season. John Jaso pops it up. Kelly Johnson is there, and he makes the catch. 2 down.
Does Derek Jeter have 200 hits yet? Every time I look at the newspaper, that guy's got 2 or 3 hits.
Yeah, he's had some year, and he is going to get 200 hits for sure.
You know, and I'm going to make an argument that he could be the MVP. Sitting at 191 starting this game.
The Brett Cecil gets the first 2 outs of the top of the 7th. The right-hander Brad Lincoln into the ball game to face Jesus Montero when we come back. Gives up just 2 hits, and he turns things over now to Brad Lincoln. Lincoln had a great outing on Saturday in Boston. Went 2 1/3 with 3 strikeouts. Jesus Montero, the catcher, looks at one down and away. 7th inning with 2 outs. Seattle has a 4-2 lead. On the ground, Escobar with a strong arm on the money. Brad Lincoln does his job. He comes out of the bullpen to close out the 7th. We'll go to the bottom of the 7th. Blue Jays need a couple of runs. About football, even Anthony goes. It's week 1 of the NFL season. It's in the books, and week 2 starts off with the Chicago Bears and the Green Bay Packers Thursday night. The Bears coming off a big win against the Colts, while the Packers took one on the chin against the 49ers. The NFL on Sportsnet all season long. Okay, Debbie. Bears and Packers. Who you got?
Packers.
Packers. You didn't even hesitate.
I know football.
Oh. But then why did the Bengals lose last night?
I didn't pick them. I told you they were going to get creamed.
Yeah, they did. Joe Flacco and the Ravens look pretty good.
No, I'm kind of half picking the Packers because of our buddy sitting next to you.
Kelly Johnson gives it a ride into center. Gutierrez misses it. Hits out the warning track, and he flat out whiffed on it. He's one of the premier center fielders in all of baseball. That ball was slicing, and he will be charged with an error, his first error in his 23rd game of the season.
His Gold Glove winner in 2010. He had not made an error in 301 consecutive games before that one right there. And as soon as the ball went off the bat, he didn't look comfortable at all tracking that ball. He whiffs on it. The Blue Jays have a nice start here to the 7th inning.
You got to take advantage of that for sure. Get a runner in scoring position to start the inning.
His last error was August of 2009.
JP Arancibia takes the first pitch strike. JP's 0 for 2. Struck out in his first at bat way back in the 2nd inning. Eric Wedge with his young starter pitching in the 7th has his bullpen up and throwing now. Ramirez has been terrific. That's the 77th pitch he's thrown tonight.
Let's put him in the stretch. He hasn't been in the stretch since the 4th inning.
He's only thrown 17 balls tonight. Eric Wedge has to be impressed with what he's gotten from Erasmo Ramirez. Charlie Furbish, the left-hander. Josh Kinney, the right-hander. This is a powerful bullpen. Aaron Sebia gets jammed and hits it to the shortstop. Kelly Johnson has to stay put. JP can't move the runner-up. So Rajay Davis, who's gone 0 for 2. Blue Jays had a leadoff double in the 4th and couldn't do a thing with it. Now they have a 2-base error to start the 7th. Got to capitalize. You're running out of outs.
Yeah, you're running into a tough section of the ball game because they've got that shutdown type of back end of the bullpen. Have to take advantage of it. Not moving that runner after you gave him that error to start the inning, that could be huge.
And you got to give Ramirez some credit too. He's really done a good job using all 3 of his pitches. Carl Willis, the pitching coach, checking on the status of his 2 relievers. Ball and a strike to Rajay Davis.
Pretty nice, easy slider he'll throw. Looks like he'll throw that slider to the right-handers and the changeup to the lefties. But when it leaves his hand, it looks like it's over the inside part of the plate to the right-handers and then sweeps right across the outside part. Very tough to lay off of that one.
And that one was on the inner half, and it's a strike. Ramirez pitched 5 years in the minors, and you could see that he was something special. He had a 41-17 record and a minor league ERA of just 3.19.
Minor leagues is all about developing players. For him, it was developing winning.
Tell you what, we have seen some young pitchers come through the Mariners system. Carl Willis has done a good job. He and Eric Wedge together in Cleveland, and now they've reunited here with the Mariners. Davis stays alive.
Their pitching coordinator, minor league pitching coordinator Rick Waits, does a good job with these young pitchers. There's plenty more in the pipeline, and that's one thing that the Seattle Mariners has done. The Seattle Mariners have done over the last few years. Recognize young pitching, draft it, and develop it. Some big arms.
2-2. Stays alive. You better take advantage of this situation with the air, because that bullpen's going to come out probably after this inning. Cut on and miss. Davis strikes out. 2 down in the inning. That's 6 strikeouts now for Erasmo Ramirez.
That looked like a slider that backed up on him just a little bit. Really didn't get the bend and break that he was hoping for, but the result was what he was looking for.
The Mariners lead the season series between these 2 ball clubs 4-2. Anthony Ghost takes one inside. Two and 0. Brett Lawrie on deck. Lawrie had a single in the 3rd. Ghost trying to keep the inning alive. 3-0.
Pretty good patience right there by Ghost. 2-0. Laying off that changeup.
if Ghost reaches, this might be the last batter for Ramirez. And there's ball 4. Brett Laurie will step to the box. You just wonder if Wedge is going to let Laurie face Ramirez for a 4th time.
He has popped him up. He's had a fly out, and he's also had a single. Talking it over with Robbie Thompson. It doesn't look like he's going to come out.
Now Robbie Thompson moving the infield defense around, and Wedge is taking a seat, so it's all over. Back to Ramirez. First and second, 2 outs. Brett Laurie. 1 for 3. Popped into center field. Gutierrez. He'll catch this one. So Gutierrez's error, the first error in 864 chances, does not cost the Mariners.
Juicy sirloin, it's a taste of burger bliss.
Beautiful night in Toronto. The Mariners are in town for the first of 3. Eric Wedge's ball club has tied their win total from a year ago. They have 67 wins this season. That's how many they won all season long last year. And you see the win totals from 2008 to last year. 61, 85 was the exception in 2009. Then they dropped right back into the 60s. And they have tied that win total from a year ago. They have 67 wins and 74 losses.
And a 4th best record in the American League since the All-Star break. That's what it's all about. Can you build some momentum? They have the pitching in the minor leagues, I think, that they can get up here, develop into the big leagues. Pitching that can either take them to the next level, or you can trade it away for some hitting. But they have done a good job in the drafts the last few years of finding some good pitchers. I think they get the trade with the Yankees, where they trade a young pitcher in Pineda and get Montero. They're winning that trade so far. Give it a couple of more years, and then we'll find out.
Yeah, and Pineda has been on the shelf, and so you have to wait until he gets healthy again. But get an everyday catcher and a guy that provides some offense, that's a pretty good deal. Montero has split time this year, but the hope is to turn into an everyday catcher.
Well, if they can trade a Michael Pineda like they did in the offseason, there must be more coming, and there is. They've got a young kid named Taijuan Walker who was in Double-A, who, from what I hear, is outstanding.
6'4", 210. Last year pitched in the Midwest League. Michael Saunders, big bouncing ball to the second baseman. Saunders is out. That's the first out, top of the 8th. Yeah, anytime you see a team trading a young, powerful pitcher like Pineda, there's a couple of red flags. First of all, what's wrong with Pineda? And we found out he had shoulder problems. But also, it really speaks to the depth of the Mariners organization. And here you see Erasmo Ramirez, and he doesn't have the same physical stature that Pineda does, but boy, he's a strike-throwing machine.
Yeah. Kept the Blue Jays off balance all night long. Used his fastball effectively, his slider, and his changeup. 7 solid innings. Just 22 years old.
Eric Thames has had a rough night. He struck out 3 times at the plate. He made a high throw to home plate from the outfield that allowed Anthony Ghost to score on a sacrifice fly off the bat of Colby Erasmus back in the 3rd inning. Pops this one into center field. Colby Erasmus makes the catch. 2 down. Well, there's so many great pennant races going on now. The Red Sox and the Yankees are tied at 3-all, top of the 7th at Fenway Park. Tigers better get something going. They're trailing Chicago 2-0, top of the 5th at U.S. Cellular Field.
Fister and Peavy in that one.
How about this? The Philadelphia Phillies are 5 games back in the wild card race. They're tied with Milwaukee. Yeah, there's a lot of teams ahead of them, but I never even thought about the Phillies.
I thought it was done.
Yep.
In Philadelphia.
There's still a game under 500. But Philadelphia has won 5 in a row, 8 of their last 10.
Both Milwaukee and Philadelphia start play today at 70 and 71, and they've got a shot at the wild card. No chance at the division.
No chance at the division. But it's interesting tonight. Jimmy Rollins, Juan Pierre, and Chase Utley each had multiple hits. It's only the 2nd time this season that's happened. The other time was July 14th at Colorado. So Rollins starting to swing the bat a little better. Utley started the season on a DL, as did Ryan Howard. Oh, 2, 2 outs. Cut on and miss. Mike Karp strikes out. Lincoln ends the top half of the 8th inning. We've played 7.5 here. Mariners have a 4-2 lead. Now it's time for a Blue Jays Central update. Here's Jamie Campbell and Jose Cruz Jr. from the Blackberry Broadcast Studio. Job of shutting down the Blue Jays. 7 innings, 6 hits, 2 earned runs. He walked 1 batter, struck out 6, and threw just 90 pitches. He was efficient and effective all night long. Blue Jays couldn't capitalize when they had opportunities to move the base runners along. They would eventually strand 5 against Ramirez. Did a nice job.
They will turn it over now to Charlie Furbush. 42 games this year, 5-2, 223 earned run average. Look at the batting average against righties and lefties, 173 and 139 for Furbush. 3rd among AL relievers in innings pitched. Left-handers have only gotten 10 hits off of him all season long.
10 for 72 against Furbush. That's shutting down the lefties dramatically. Bobby Erasmus takes it up the first baseline, but pulls it into foul ground.
Does it basically. He's got a good fastball. They got him from the Detroit Tigers. Very astute trade to pick up a left-handed arm. He was a starter. They put him into the bullpen, and now it's just fastball slider. And it has worked really well for Furbush.
That's a tough delivery of that slider. Lucas Litke, the left-hander, starts loosening up alongside Josh Kinney. Kinney is ready. He was up before. Litke, another very effective lefty reliever. Furbush was acquired in trade, as Pat mentioned, from Detroit, along with Casper Wells, Francisco Martinez, and Chance Ruffin in the Doug Fister deal. Rasmus hits it down the right side. That's going to drop and bounces out of play. A ground rule double. Furbush left that breaking ball on the inner half, and Rasmus doubles over the wall in right.
Colby stayed right there also. Right on top of the plate, kept that front shoulder in. Watch how he doesn't hit ground. Stayed right with it and yanks it into the corner in right field. He now has a multi-hit game to go along with a sacrifice fly. Good start by the Jays here in the 8th inning.
Again, they have a leadoff man on. That's it for Furbush. He was in to get Rasmus. Doesn't do that. Josh Kinney will come on to face Edwin Encarnacion when we come back. That's right. October just around the corner when the Blue Jays and Twins hook up. It's a 7:07 start. Great prizes to be won. There's a first pitch, autographed merchandise, and T-shirts. For tickets, call the Blue Jays at 416-341-1234. Log on to BlueJays.com or stop by most Rogers Plus locations. That'll be the next Blackberry Tweeting Tuesday. The right-hander Josh Kinney on to face Edwin Encarnacion. Man at second, nobody out.
Some more big numbers out of that bullpen. Just 24 games for Josh Kinney. He was selected from AAA Tacoma on June the 30th when, ironically, tonight's starting pitcher Erasmo Ramirez went on the disabled list. Kinney came up out of the minor leagues. He's faced 100 batters. He struck out 25% of them this year. Does it with a good fastball, curve, and slider.
Blue Jays with the leadoff double. Colby Rasmus at second. Whipped it into center field. Rasmus tagging at second base. Gutierrez makes the catch. Colby will go to third. So Encarnacion flies out to center. Blue Jays haven't been able to move up a runner. Escobar started things off in the fourth with a leadoff double. He stayed there at second. Eric Wedge, he's got plenty of arms down in his bullpen. He's going to play matchup baseball the rest of the way here. So Kenny on, he got his man. Now Lucas Litke will come on to face Adam Lind. 1 out. Is Lucas Litke, 58th appearance, and Litke has done a great job for the Mariners. And this bullpen, as we mentioned, has done a terrific job recently, and Litke's on to face now the pinch hitter. So Kenny gets his man as he retired Edwin Encarnacion on a fly ball. Moises Sierra on to pinch hit for Adam Lind. First pitch strike. Kobe Rasmus with a leadoff ground rule double, moved to third base on the fly ball out to center. Breaking ball smothered by Montero. Litke has been a specialist. This is his 58th appearance, as we mentioned. He's faced only one batter 21 times. Comes into a game, gets his lefty, but now he's dealing with a right-hander.
And they mix it up with he's got a very good breaking ball, and he'll use it a lot. He was a Rule 5 draft pick by the Seattle Mariners, the first in Eric Wedge's 9 years as a major league manager. Chances are you're going to get another breaking ball. He needs a strikeout.
Missed with that breaking ball. One thing we have seen from Sierra, he handles the breaking ball strike fairly well. He only gets into trouble when he chases that pitch out of the zone. But boy, you throw him a breaking ball strike, he'll hit it hard.
Teams have tried going upstairs to him with fastball.
That's bounced off the plate. Rasmus will come in to score. Sierra's out at first. It is a one-run game. So Sierra picks up the RBI on the ground out. Rasmus comes in to score. It's 4-3 Seattle.
Yeah, and you have to get one of those runs. You just have to. They had a leadoff double in the fourth. They had an error double, if you will, in the seventh, and then another double, and they've only been able to cash in one of them.
So Litke, once again, facing just one batter. He'll hand things over. And Stephen Pryor, hard-throwing right-hander, comes on with 2 outs to face Yunel Escobar. catch Sportsnet's live coverage of the Blue Jays, watch the action live all season from your smartphone. Download the Rogers Live app from your app store. All of a sudden, it's a one-run game. Stephen Pryor, making his 18th appearance of the season, is 3-0. And he has been an interesting pitcher. He picked up his first career win on June 8th. The interesting thing about that, it was a no-hitter. He was one of 6 pitchers to combine to throw a no-hitter, and he was credited with the win.
Big, thick-bodied reliever. Look at the size of his arms. Made his big league debut on June the 2nd. He can rush it up there. One of the guys that has touched 100 miles an hour this year for the Mariners.
And what's he do? Throws the first pitch breaking ball. He gets ahead of Escobar.
His slider, and it's a good one. That was it right there. Has been clocked at 91 this year.
96 with the heater downstairs. He's quickly ahead 0-2. A 3-pitch strikeout and 98 miles an hour. Big arm coming out of the Mariners bullpen. But the Blue Jays score a run. They make it a 4-3 game, and Pryor ends the inning with a big fastball. Pitcher for the Blue Jays is Jason Frazier. Jason pitched in Boston, threw the ball very well. Went an inning in the third, allowed just 1 hit. That came on Saturday in that ball game. He is back off the disabled list and appears to be very strong and healthy, throwing a good fastball again.
Yeah, he also had a couple of strikeouts in that inning in the third in Boston. 11 strikeouts per 9 innings this year for Frazier.
Yan Gomes comes on defensively, taking over for the pinch hitter, Moises Sierra. Hit for Lind, and now Gomes takes the field at first. So it'll be 9-1-2 for Seattle. We are in the top of the 9th. It's a 4-3 Mariners lead. Brendan Ryan fouls off the first pitch. Seattle 4 runs on 13 hits. Well, how about Rajai Davis saving a run, throwing out John Jaso at the plate, and then he would later on throw out Jaso at third. Davis with a couple of outfield assists. He has 8 now for the season.
Yeah, a chance to keep this one close, and a chance in the bottom of the 9th inning to win it. He is scheduled to hit third in the bottom of the 9th for the Blue Jays.
Blue Jays looking ahead to the bottom of the ninth. Kelly Johnson, J.P. Arancibia, and Rajay Davis. John Jaso, the DH tonight, has driven in a run.
He's got to put in his scouting report, Jaso, because he's the victim both times. Rajay Davis, stop sign when his ball's hit to him.
He did run right through the stop sign of the third base coach, Jeff Datz, in the first inning. And Datz is 6'5", standing up there with both arms in the air, and I don't know how he missed him.
There's Datsy.
I mean, he was standing almost in the base path with his hands held high over his shoulders, and John Jaso ran right by him.
Tough to pick up your coach when you're looking straight down.
Bouncing ball, big hop for Kelly Johnson. Ryan is retired, first out of the top half of the ninth. Well, Brad Lincoln with another good outing. Lincoln retired all 4 batters he faced. He came in to close out the 7th. Brett Cecil went 2 innings, allowed 2 hits, and had a strikeout. Lincoln in the inning and a third, 1 strikeout, and now Jason Frazier. Dustin Ackley's gone 2 for 4. Difference in the ball game. Kyle Seager's home run leading off the 5th. It's the 4th run for Seattle. That gives them a 4-3 lead.
And that home run, that was off of Brandon Morrow. That was the first home run he's given up to the Mariners in his career. I mean, that's how dominant he had been against his former team.
Kyle Seager 3 for 3 tonight against Brandon Morrow. Is now 6 for 11 against Morrow. Seager can hit.
Yeah. He's got a nice short stroke.
Sound like it broke his bat. Anthony Gose runs in, makes the catch, 2 down.
Jason still has that good fastball. And I think it surprises batters. You look at him on the mound and you think, well, he's going to be 88 miles an hour, and he's running it up there at 93 or 94. Looked like it took Ackley by surprise.
Yep, Jason can throw that fastball down and away to lefties or righties, and he can pretty much pitch right at 94. 2 outs. Franklin Gutierrez singled his first at bat. There's that down and away patented Frazier strength.
Really stays on top of the ball nicely, gets his fingers on top and really drives it to the outside part of the plate.
Ball and a strike, 2 down. Jason Frazier trying to keep it a 1-run deficit. Like clockwork.
Yep.
When he wants a strike, he goes down and away.
He paints it down there, and that right-handed hitter, they tend to give up on it.
Well, you don't have to chase it till you get 2 strikes, and it's a tough pitch to hit.
And now a slider right off the plate now.
Seattle with 4 runs on 13 hits. They've committed an error. Gutierrez, the center fielder, charged with the error. Blue Jays 3 runs on 7 hits. Gutierrez wouldn't chase.
There it was right there. Had him set up for it and everything. Gutierrez stayed off of it.
Line to left field. Davis over quickly to try to cut it off. He does, and here's the throw to second base. Kelly Johnson not in time. Another strike by Rajay Davis. He's never thrown this well, and that was a beautiful throw right on the money. He's got a couple assists tonight from the outfield. And he was making a bid to tie the franchise record with 3 outfield assists in one game.
Can't make a better throw than that right there. Right on the inside part of the bag. Gutierrez goes to the outer part, and that's what saves him. Look where his foot is. It's on the outside part of the bag. If he slides straight into the bag, he's out. But Rajay Davis comes up firing from the left field corner and almost gets Gutierrez at second.
5th double of the season for Gutierrez, and now Kyle Seager. He's gone 3 for 4 tonight. Line to center, right at Rasmus, and the Mariners will leave a runner. We'll go to the bottom of the ninth. The Blue Jays are down by a run. Kelly Johnson will start things off. J.P. Arancibia and Rajay Davis, 4-3 Seattle. Is Tom Williamson. He makes his 64th appearance of the season. He's 24 for 27 in saves, and he is really interesting. He took over as the closer on June 4th. He has a 1.66 ERA since moving into the closer's role. And as we mentioned, since the 21st of July, second in the majors with 16 saves to Aroldis Chapman of the Reds, who has 19. Casper Wells takes over defensively in right. Kelly Johnson reached on a 2-base error by the center fielder Franklin Gutierrez in the 7th, but he stayed right there at second. Hard hit, but right to the second baseman accurate. 1 down.
And right now, that is a big run that they left standing out there. Wilhelmsen gets it done with a good fastball on a sharp breaking ball. They'll get a lot of strikeouts with that breaking ball. Very confident in that pitch also.
J.P. Arancibia has some pop. 16 home runs. Big swing, and he lifts it into center field. It's going to be the second baseman who moves out. Dustin Ackley, 2 down. Now for a preview of what's coming up on Connected. Here's Ivanka Osmak and George Poplis. Coming up on Connected right after this ball game. Blue Jays are down to their final out. Rajay Davis has gone 0 for 3 with a strikeout. That ball, that bat went right over Anthony Gose up against the screen.
Yeah, thank goodness he was paying attention on the on-deck circle. Rajay lost his grip, and he swung at that fastball. Thank goodness Gose was watching. He's able to duck out of the way. He can laugh about it now.
Chopper toward first base. Carp dishes to safe. Oh my! Wayne Hampson was a little bit late getting there, and to his credit, Rajay Davis never hesitated out of the box, and Eric Wedge is going to come out to protest with the umpire. Paul Emmel at first base, and Wedge is going, wait a minute now. Can you tell me that he beat that?
And for the Blue Jays, that's what you want. You want that electric speed on the bases. Davis not taking anything for granted. A check swing, and for a right-handed batter, you're being knocked off the plate. You got to hustle down there. Here's the play right there. You be the umpire.
Yeah, Wilhelmsen looked like he had the ball, and he had. Watch how his body relaxes, as if to say, "Okay, game's over." In there, and he feels that foot on the bag, but it's still just 2 outs. Rajay Davis with 41 steals. Anthony Gose has to take a strike to give Davis a chance to run here. There he goes. Great jump and no throw. So the tying runs in scoring position. Stolen base number 42.
Career high 50 set in 2010. This is the second most that he has had in his career now with 42, and more importantly, in scoring position.
There he goes to third. Base ground ball up the middle. Brendan Ryan, bang, bang at first, and the game is over. Brendan Ryan unloaded in a hurry. Anthony Gose with terrific speed. He is out by an eyelash at first, and the Mariners win 4-3. Kyle Seager with a big night.
Wow, what a play. Just ahead of the throw from Ryan. And that's about defensive positioning. That ball looked like it was going to be a single to center field, but the shortstop was playing up the middle. He has played great shortstop for the Seattle Mariners. He knows he's got to get rid of it quickly. Strong throw. And that makes a winner out of the Mariners.
Kyle Seager's 18th home run, a difference in the ball game. The Mariners win the opener 4-3. We'll see you tomorrow night. Stay tuned. Connected coming right up.